Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
And I'm Envy Jitters.
And we're back with Demon Slayer again. We watched the first half of this season, now we're on to the second half of the season. Season 2, the Entertainment District arc, which is sort of... It's Season 1, a movie, or not a movie, or 6 episodes in this season, but not this season. It's part of this season, and then this season.
Basically, Season 2 was them condensing the movie into a 7-episode recap, and then the Entertainment District arc.
That feels like uncondensing.
Well,
that feels just as lengthy, if not more.
Yeah.
So, where did we leave off on our last time around with this?
We basically got Nezuko going apeshit and getting puberty at the same time on Gaki.
Yeah. Dang.
Which I want to say right off the bat, I just want to say right off the bat, I need to apologize so I don't get canceled. If you recall, the last time we talked about this show, I kind of got horny over Gaki, and then when I found out how old she was when she died, I was like, oh shit. So I take back everything I just said.
You realize that they mentioned she's been alive for like over 100 years, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, she's technically undead, so she's technically 13 when she biologically died.
Do you stop growing after you become demon? I don't know, like, what the thing is. I don't know that she's undead. Are they undead?
I mean,
No.
kind of.
It really feels like that, like... It doesn't seem like undead like a vampire or a zombie, though.
But it's almost like, you're a demon. I don't know. It's like...
Yeah, but
I think it's just another form of, like, being?
Yeah, it feels more like a
kind of how I
monster
think of it.
or like an infernal creation of some kind, or... I don't know.
Or a disease.
Yeah, an infected.
That
I don't
sounds
know that
even
you're
more
weird
like a
for that,
zombie.
man. I don't know. Has that been a thing? Have people been like, oh, don't lewd Daki the hooker?
Yes.
Really?
I feel...
Fans of the manga fans of the manga were going after people that were hornying up her, because it's like, she's 13 when she died, bro. You're sexually
Yeah, but
presenting a minor.
did she die? Because I feel like if you're dead, you can't turn into... If you're, like, actually dead, you can't turn into a demon.
I think she was on death's door, like both of them were.
Yeah, it's like Nezuko.
Yeah, like, Nezuko's not dead.
She's mostly dead.
She's just mostly dead.
But do you even age, though? Because that, like...
It
It seemed like it implied to me that even if they've been around for dozens, if not hundreds of years, they stayed the same age physically.
Okay.
I get that sense as well.
Okay, did they? Because we've seen... I'm just going to throw this out there. We've seen demons transform a number of different ways. Muzan is one of them. He became a child in this season.
So, I wouldn't say physically. I would say mentally they stay the same. Like,
But-
they have the
Yeah.
same mental age. Because we even see that with the many-armed demon in Season 1. If you recall. Like, once
So-
they were on death's door.
Okay, so we're going with... They have the mental maturity of a child.
Like, they have the mental
Yeah.
maturity of what they were when they died. Or at least were turned into a demon.
Considering how often she cries during the second half of this show,
Oh my
and she's
God.
acting like a
Yeah.
bratty
I
teenager.
just
Yeah,
figured
she
she was a
does get
spoiled
very
bitch. I've
whiny.
seen adults do that.
That is
sorry.
true.
Like-
I have also seen adults do that.
I don't think
Wow.
I don't think like someone, throwing a tantrum is necessarily an indication that you are a child. Like I've seen people like into their 30s do that shit. And it's like
Yeah.
embarrassing. But it's also like, I know you're an adult. Even if you don't act like it. I don't know. This feels like a very bizarre, like, sort of... I don't want to say a Schrodinger's cat sort of situation, but sort of like one of the... It, like, really depends. Like, if they are undead and they did completely stop changing as a person when they were 13, I could see some credence to this argument. At the same time, clearly they've been living. and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I don't know, this kind of feels a bit like that Interview with a Vampire. What was her name? Claudia. But she was physically a child her entire life.
Oh, yeah, no, she was physically 6 years old.
Mentally, she was like
60.
a century old.
Yeah.
Or if you want a modern example, you can do the curious case of Benjamin Button, where he was literally born an adult, but yet he was,
He aged backwards,
Yeah.
so by the time he was a child, he was mentally a senior citizen, but when he was a senior citizen, he was mentally a child. I mean, that doesn't seem the exact same thing, but...
In the Eternals, they had something similar, too.
Yeah, that,
I forget their name.
I have trouble remembering any of them, actually.
That one character who always looked like a child, but they're just as old as everybody else.
I want to say Puck, but I might be thinking of Midsummer's Night Dream.
Yeah.
Whichever way, there are lots of characters like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what their name was. It was a meh
Peter
movie
Pan,
for me.
Tinkerbell. They kept making that reference.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. This is... I feel... Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because here's the thing, too. When Nezuko got, her uber transformation, puberty hit her like a freight train, but then as soon as she got calmed down, her body went back to normal. So, does becoming a demon give you puberty?
I don't even know about that, because again,
I think that's just the thing that's when her body grows. Like, that's how her body grows. Like, when she gets big, Nezuko, that's just how her body transforms.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is like, I'm pretty sure Nezuko's like 14?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
However, like, I think when we talk about Nezuko, she's definitely more... Part of me wants to say childlike, but in a lot of ways, she's kind of animalistic. She is, like, feral, in a way.
Well, she's definitely got the lizard part of her brain going.
Yeah, I feel like that's most of what's still operating up there. Like, I'm sure she has memories and stuff like that, and I'm sure she, like, given enough time, she might start showing again a lot of signs of humanity and stuff like that.
Well, that was how Tanjiro was able to calm her down, the memory of her mom's lullaby.
Yeah, but again, like, I feel like there's plenty of, like, dogs that have emotional ties to certain, like, things. Like, they hear a human's voice that, like, they have a strong emotional connection to. I feel like that could have a similar effect of, like, calming an animal down. I don't want to just be like, Nezuko's an animal, but, like, yeah, she's like, generally, it does act like that. I don't know, this is a really interesting idea of, like, a conversation, like...
It is kind of weird, though, because, like, Nezuko, you're right, she doesn't talk, and she doesn't have, cognitive thought like every other demon we've seen. Like, every other demon is essentially a human, minus their
humanity
stuff. Yeah, so Nezuko's, like, the one... Maybe it's because she's so different that she doesn't require flesh and blood and...
I think the thing is like, I'm wondering if it's just the fact that she's so young in comparison to a lot of the other demons.
But so were ones like Daki. She was like 13.
I was going to mention
No.
Oh, you mean young?
That's not what I meant.
In the hundreds of years.
Yes.
So maybe they all started out like her?
That's interesting.
I feel like she's like a baby demon.
Yeah, we haven't, like, seen another demon that was, like, just made, other than that one Muzan made in the middle of the street to make a distraction. But he was extremely feral, too. But they all start out feral.
Yeah, maybe.
So, I mean, I think part of this, maybe this was explained a little bit. I feel like it almost was, like, that they don't start to remember things or regain, like, a sense of civility, I guess, until they start eating.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that false humanity goes down as they get hungrier, I think.
Yeah.
So, the fact that maybe because Nezuko has never eaten anyone or anything, maybe that's why they're basically stuck in sort of a subdued feral state. This is interesting. I feel like I need more information. I almost feel like I want to read ahead now and try to see, like, what comes up.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure, like, at some point Nezuko does will at least probably get cognitive abilities. It'll probably just be like, it'll have taken her a lot longer.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. How many more arcs are in this thing?
I want to say
I think there's
3 or 4.
I think there's like 5. If I remember reading, I didn't read ahead, but I looked ahead of what's coming up. I think there's like 5 major arcs left.
Okay.
Sounds about right. There's like 200 chapters, right?
Yeah, like 23 books, so.
Okay, well, we got plenty of time for Nezuko to exhibit other superpowers and abilities and surprises for us. She had a couple of things coming out, like outside of getting her big girl body, she's also using her fire powers with a lot more control than I think she had before. Including apparently being able to burn people alive, but it just burns out their poison in their veins.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if she could do that with other kinds of like diseases and stuff like that.
So I'm like wondering if that's like sun related.
Probably.
Because that, like, the only thing that, like, destroys demons or, like, anything left over from them is the sun itself.
True.
So, I'm, like,
she's a
wondering
sun demon. Now, that's a scary thought for other demons.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of like the same as Tanjiro's, like, other ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which he exhibited some cool stuff here. Like, there's no plot here. We can't really talk about a plot. It's the same fight from before. That it's like, this is a week-long battle that's happening in one night. Which still,
I mean, most of the plot is basically Tengen's backstory with his wives and the demon Daki and her brother.
Yeah, but even then, it's like, what backstory do we get with Tengen and his wives? They were part of a ninja clan. He didn't want to be like the other ninjas. Then all the ninjas died. Which we don't really even see.
Yeah, that was probably my biggest complaint from this season. I feel like I liked Tengen enough as a character, but I didn't think he got enough. Surprisingly, he didn't get enough development compared to Rengoku, because like you felt for Rengoku when he died, and like you felt like troubled for him, and like based on what happened with his family. But like I didn't really get that with Tengen that much.
Okay, I'm really trying to remember.
Well,
was Rengoku's family stuff in the movie, or was it just in this early episodes of this season?
It was just in the early episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did everyone connect to Rengoku so well in that movie?
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't really either.
He was there and he died.
Yeah, I think the thing is like a lot of people became attached to him because of his goofiness.
I can see that.
And his general himbo energy.
I mean, he's got that. I straight up said, like, as soon as we saw him, like, that's All Might.
Like, he has, like, a big personality and stuff, which is nice, but I didn't get to see him, like, bond with anybody. Like, all they did was, like, chat with him once on the train, and then they were fighting the monster, and then he died.
Yeah. I feel like had the series gone on for longer, and we'd got to know, like, all of the Hashira a little bit better, I feel like then, at that point, Rengoku's death would have been heartbreaking.
Right. I think, like, seeing the Hashira interacting with each other and seeing him interacting with the kids, too, like, I don't know, it would have had more of an impact on me. But I feel like I didn't care that much.
What's your thought?
I had my thought is, so I know, like, they did, like, a spin-off that's kind of covering some of, like, the Hashira stories with, like, a manga and light novel and stuff. So,
you were thinking prequel
I would kind
movie?
of want to... I want to see, like, no, I want to see a prequel series. Like, I would just want to see them. I figured, but if there's, like, enough content, I would like to see it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be interesting, like, seeing them all, like, meet each other. Granted, I know that, like, Hashira have come and gone, and, like, there have been a lot of, like, deaths among the Hashira, so...
Well, some of them retire, like Rengoku's dad.
I mean, yeah, but you just hear about how many of the demons are like, yes, we killed a like, how many Hashira? It just sounds like they killed a lot of them.
Well, you also got to remember, these demons don't exactly have, like, a human lifespan. They could have been alive for 200-300 years. At that point, you know, you're going through so many generations of these, like, warriors that it's like, yeah, no. There's been, like, probably in the last 300 years, like, maybe 90 different Hashiras.
Yeah.
We only picked off
That's
10 to 17. I don't know. It's actually pretty low numbers, like, all things considered.
And depending on which demons they were.
Yeah.
As well.
Outside of all that, I was surprised that what was his, Tengen actually survived, because we were talking about that.
I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, we were thinking that this was gonna fall into a predictable loop of, we're gonna meet a Hashira, we're gonna learn about their particular technique, Tanjiro's gonna get that technique, and then they're gonna die.
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. So I'm kind of glad he didn't.
Yeah, although honestly, I kind of was thinking them, like, he's going to make it through this, and I only say that because once Nezuko did, like, her fire power thing, and Tanjiro was healed up and fine, I'm like, oh, he's gonna live.
Well, at that point,
Someone actually made a joke about that because, like, this is one of those shit post Reddit comments, but, like, in the opening for the TV version of Mugen Train, in one of the shots, Tanjiro and Rengoku face opposite ways, but in the opening for the show, Tengen and Tanjiro face the same direction, so that's their justification for why he survived. It's stupid, but that got me to laugh.
I don't think that's that stupid. Like, I mean...
Symbolism!
Yeah, Chibi looks at openings to shows all the time and is like, here's what I think, guys.
This is what is gonna happen! Also, here are all the characters! Also, this is important.
Sometimes they honestly do predict what's gonna happen in the openings. Just look at the Naruto openings.
Okay, that was just straight up spoiling what was gonna happen. They pretty much showed you exactly what was gonna happen.
Well, no, that's the JoJo openings.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's because, like, once I start picking up things, like, that they've showed us in episodes, I'm like, okay, this is gonna play into something here. This is gonna be important. That thing's gonna be important. Okay, that motif hasn't popped up yet. That's gonna be coming on later down the line. I have a tendency to overanalyze, like, stuff like that, mostly because I'm like, okay, I want to see where these pieces fall into place.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like how the old man had the electric guitar, and they showed it at, like, the end of the opening in Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm like, where's the guitar?
But did we see the guitar in the old man's hands, or was it just a
yes.
guitar?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, he played it. That was like one of the big twists. It's like, oh, this stupid old man that wants Itadori dead.
I meant in the opening.
Apparently he's a rock star.
We saw the old man with the guitar in the opening, not just his hands playing the guitar, which could have been anyone's hands.
Well, it looked like his hands.
The thing is like the hands look very gnarled and, like, old. So
right,
I think
might have
it's
to
like a fair assumption to say that it's his.
I'm gonna have to check that. Anywho, so let's talk about what else happened with this show and the fighting and whatnot. So, what are the course of events that we have here? Last time it was pretty much just Tanjiro fights Daki, and then Nezuko comes out to fight Daki. And then Tanjiro stops Nezuko from eating people. Tengen decapitates Daki. We get a first of many tantrums.
Yes.
And then her brother shows up.
Uh-huh.
And then that fight happens.
Yep.
And then it's kind of just like people are trading off fighting partners back and forth. Daki's getting decapitated every other episode, but she keeps putting her head back on.
And we learned a very, very, very valuable lesson.
Don't get decapitated.
Zenitsu's a better character when he's asleep.
Yes! Yes, he is. We already knew this from last season.
We knew that from the moment that he fell asleep.
The fact that, like, he's calm, he's calculating, he's a good strategist, like, he's everything he's everything he should be when he's awake. We just need to keep him asleep the entire time.
Exactly.
Genuinely surprised he could speak and do all that other stuff.
He's like, we've seen him speak when he was asleep.
I did not remember that.
He did speak.
I feel like he only ever said, like, thunder step, blah blah blah. I'm like, that's just an anime thing.
He takes sleepwalking to the extreme.
Okay.
But he
takes sleepwalking to the extreme.
He is one of the coolest characters when he's asleep, and then he annoys the fuck out of me when he's awake, and I'm like, do I love him or hate him? Like,
because like Zenitsu and Inosuke, like the whole team up between the trio and Daki, like that shit was epic. Like the whole final fight at the end, like, that was when they both decapitated them at the same time. Like, that was...
Yeah, it was cool.
Ufotable really stepped up their game. Let's just say that. Like, those animators over there, like, I hope they get paid well because, like, holy shit.
I liked at the end where Inosuke is trying to cut off the head and he's like, "Oh, but I have a special technique. I'm just gonna saw it off."
Yeah.
I actually found that quite funny. I'm like, she's like, "What are you gonna do with those shitty blades of yours?" And he's just like,
Inosuke is very good in these episodes.
Oh, he's amazing.
Like when he basically came back from the dead because he just twisted his organs around again.
Which normally I'd be like, that's bullshit. But I literally saw you worm your way through a 6-inch tunnel.
They set it up, so it was okay.
Yeah.
They can't kill Best Boy. Not yet.
No.
Everything you see is made of rubber.
Good.
Yeah. I still contest that he is the character with the most development throughout this entire series. And I'm gonna stick with that.
Oh, I mean, that is true. I mean, yeah, obviously Tanjiro is learning more about his family and, like, learning more techniques, but as far as character
he's not developing as a character at all, because he's not going to develop as a character at all.
All he does is gain strength. He doesn't do anything as a person.
He's a flat character. It is what it is.
Yeah, Inosuke went from get away from me to you, I'm gonna die for you, my bro.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it goes. You could look at the same thing in, like, other sorts of things with flat character arcs. Something like Goku is a perfect example. He doesn't change throughout the entire series of Dragon Ball Z or something, but he changes the people around him.
Yeah.
So, Vegeta, Piccolo, everyone, like, people who were not so great turn into good allies and become better people as a result of meeting him. I think both Zenitsu and Inosuke, and maybe even to some degree the Hashiras that he's going to meet over time, are going to become better people as a result of him. But he himself is going to be kind of boring a little bit as an individual.
Yeah. I think the thing with that itself is just more like, considering how Tanjiro sort of is as a person.
You mean
and
perfect
just kind
human?
Of
his soul is a literal shining beacon for all of humanity?
Yeah, I think it's just like the fact that he's like, I don't want to say he's, like, very mature, but he's got, like, one of those personalities that just is kind of, like, he sort of has, like, an inner peace, and also is, like, kind of one of those characters that, like, even though he knows that you're terrible, he still will look at you and understand that you did have some humanity somewhere inside you.
He already transcended.
He's Jesus, he's Buddha, he's perfect human Tanjiro.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Oh wait, he's gonna develop a flaw at some point?
We shall see.
I'll be honest, I kind of got spoiled a little bit to how...
don't you spoil us.
Some things in the...
I'm not
gonna be that person.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying I've gotten spoiled to some things that happen later in the manga, which I can't wait to see animated and see how the anime-only people react.
Well, maybe it'll be interesting. Maybe it'll be unbelievably predictable. You never know. You never know until you get there.
Oh, and I looked it up. There's 4 more arcs.
Okay. All right.
I thought so.
So does that make 4 more seasons?
Well, I was going to ask, how many arcs was the first season? Because it feels like more than one.
They covered a lot.
It was like...
it was like 20 episodes, I think.
It was 26 episodes, and they covered most of the arcs. Like, basically... What's left? They already announced season 3, which is going to cover the next arc, the Swordsmith Village arc.
Okay.
And then there's the... I don't want to say the title of the other remaining arcs because there's spoilers.
Do you have, like, an overall, like, volume length for some of these other arcs? Because...
Yes, the next arc... so basically Entertainment District arc was 30 chapters, so they did that in 11 episodes. The Swordsmith arc is 28 chapters.
So probably
the
something
arc after
similar.
that... Yeah, the arc after that is 9 chapters. It's a small arc.
Okay, they could include that maybe with the one after it, probably.
And then the second to the last arc is 47 chapters.
That'll take 2 seasons.
And then the last arc is 22 chapters.
So at the very least, if they do everything, we might be seeing another 3 to 4 seasons.
Yeah.
It's not if, it's when, because Demon Slayer is
this
worldwide.
Has definitely gone very well for them. This has definitely been a very popular anime.
This kind of became what Attack on Titan was.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts.
I'm gonna give you one more than that. I think this is what Attack on Titan maybe should have been a little earlier.
I think it's because it's kept up the pace.
Yeah,
Attack on Titan took that break.
Well, Attack on Titan
I know
with
people
its
are talking
third
about it
season
now.
brought back the hype. But,
I know people are talking about it now, but like whenever like after that like long hiatus between the seasons, I don't remember anyone talking about Attack on Titan when it re-came out.
Yeah,
it was One Punch Man season 2.
I just kind of tried to get into season 2 for Attack on Titan, like with the first episode, and I immediately was like, yeah, no, I'm not watching this. I've already read this part of the manga.
I really haven't seen people giving a shit until this last season came out.
Yeah.
Season 3, part 2 was where it got back into the hype.
Yeah. But that's like, again, leading up to your finale. That's still a pretty long time.
Well, there's a big twist that changed the whole dynamic of the series.
I'm sure it did. But at the same time, like, Demon Slayer, for what it is, it started out with a lot of hype, like Attack on Titan did, but it's kept its momentum because it made the movie happen, which kind of bridged the gap between the seasons and kind of gave us, like, sort of a little mini-season sort of thing between them to keep us interested. I think they're doing a lot to keep people's attention, and I think that's working out very well for them. And if they continue to do it, will work out very well for them in the future.
It also doesn't help too. It's inescapable in Japan. Like, it's everywhere. There's like merch for it everywhere.
Yeah.
I think
they're theme parks.
Right. I think My Hero Academia did a similar thing where it just kept up the season, so it kind of kept up people's interest in the series.
Yeah, but had they ever reached the hype level?
Maybe not to the same extent, but I mean, My Hero Academia is still pretty popular too.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the top shonens.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess I just mean the pacing of like keeping up with the seasons. Though I think I don't know, the studio might have actually changed a few times with My Hero.
I can't remember.
It's been the same studio. The problem with My Hero right now is that a lot of fans have thought seasons 4 and 5 weren't that good. Yeah. So like it's kind of been like I'm almost afraid to say this, but I feel like My Hero Academia at this point is the Walking Dead of anime, where people are like, "Oh, this show's overrated." So
yeah,
that's kind of where it's at right now.
I don't know.
I don't know that I would
I still think it's better than Attack on Titan. Hot take.
I mean,
maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with that.
Me, I'm not going to judge people for their opinions.
So, Daki's brother. We haven't really talked about him yet.
Yotaro!
Yeah. So, I'm really wondering how they pulled out that whole you have to decapitate both of us or neither of us dies kind of thing. Because that is a hell of a move. That is a hell of a power to have.
I guarantee you Muzan worked that after they got transformed into a demon. Like, that one demon, like, I forget his name, but like they turned him into a demon in order to save their life. But like once Muzan promoted them to the upper 6, he probably did something to where like, okay, individually you might not be upper 6 material, but together that's what you get your strength from.
I disagree. I think the brother is definitely upper 6 level demon material, and Daki is just kind of clinging on a little bit.
I think for them together, I think they're kind of just a package deal.
Yeah, codependency's a bitch.
Yeah, because I don't think he would be doing it, you know? Like, it felt like his whole motivation is her, so it feels like, I don't know if he would do it, like, be the demon that he is without her, but then she's not strong enough without him, you know?
So, I feel like the whole thing with him is, like, he hates people just in general, and he hated them before she came along. So, I kind of just sort of feel like if she weren't there, would he still have been a demon? Oh, heck yes. But I feel like his motivations would have been, like, a bit more skewed the other way, and not, like, she wouldn't have been a factor in a lot of things. But would I feel like he'd be upper 6 material? No. Mostly also because he doesn't really have anything to protect at that point.
And
yeah,
also,
I think that's the main
Tengen
thing.
is technically Tengen, I think, is like the second lowest ranked Hachira, if I remember correctly. So like he was able to put up a really good fight against an upper 6, so...
The weakest of the upper demons, according to Snake Man.
Yeah.
So, I gotta ask, because of his swords, can you request specifics for, like, your sword from the blacksmith people?
Doesn't he just make it dependent on who they are or whatever?
The blade changes color based on the person.
Yeah.
But it really felt like Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke all got the same swords, basically. And then Inosuke had to basically smash his until he got it the way that he wanted it. I'm wondering if he could just, like, request from the blacksmith, hey, can you make a serrated blade for me?
I feel like the blacksmith does what he wants, though.
So he wanted to give Tengen nunchuck cutlass looking.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
As opposed to everybody else who has a katana.
He reads their souls.
Yeah, he reads their soul. He saw that was the match for that specific guy, I think.
Okay. So he just knew not to put a blade on Bug Girl's thing and just have it be a poker.
Yeah.
I really feel like this is one of those, like, hey, can I just have a written request for something about my sword?
You think he'd take it?
Maybe.
I don't think he's taking requests.
Maybe, if it's interesting enough.
I think he
like,
seems
I want
particular.
a sword that can inject them with poison as opposed to cutting them. That's fascinating. I'm going to give that a shot. I want a sword I can use like nunchucks. Okay, that is really interesting. I gotta come up with some ideas.
I think he did it based on them. Not that they requested it, but that's just me.
We'll have to see some other Hashira's swords at some point. Rengoku seemed to have a pretty normal sword, other than his like special handguard.
I mean, one of the two main Hashiras for next arc is
but that's an
Mitsuri,
easy thing to switch out. So,
and that sword's very interesting.
I feel like someone's getting into spoiler talk.
No.
I don't actually know anything about it.
More.
I mean, they literally released a key visual for the next season that has Mitsuri and the one that she has a crush on as the two main Hashira. I forget his name.
Who's she have a crush on? Is this going to be a romance plot?
It's Obanai, the snake guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the guy with the scarf or whatever on his face, or you know, like that.
Or bandages.
I think there's a scar under his bandages.
You just say snake guy, I know who you're talking
snake
about.
Guy.
He literally, like, that's his whole theme. He has a snake with him.
I like his aesthetic. I'm excited about him.
Like, I remember
it's
the
not,
Hashira
it's not
episode.
Snake Guy, it's another guy.
I remember the Hashira episode.
One?
Everyone had, like, a theme.
Yeah.
Wait, we're talking about Snake Guy, right?
Is Snake Guy not the guy?
No, it's a different guy.
The Mist Hashira. The Mist Hashira.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Snake Guy.
The one who looks like Snake Guy without the mask. He was lazy, if I'm remembering correctly.
No, he's just quiet.
Wait, I thought Mitsuri and Snake Guy are shipped together.
No.
Okay, ship doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean they have.
That
doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah, Mitsuri has
a lot
crush.
of people. A lot of people ship a lot of things in Naruto. We know what ones are canon.
Yeah.
Mitsuri has a crush on every guy.
You're right. You're right.
That's true.
Let's be real.
I mean, I guess when you are the love Hashira.
Certified freak. 7 days a week.
But wait, Mist Guy was in the posters? I thought...
I think Mist Guy and Snake Guy look a lot alike.
Well,
no, they don't.
Well,
whenever
whenever season 2 ended and they announced season 3, they announced a key visual, which was just basically Mist Guy and Mitsuri to say that they're going to be the two main Hashiras for next arc.
I thought it was Snake Guy and Mitsuri.
No, what about Rockman?
I'm looking it up.
How do we know it's not Rock Guy who is constantly crying? Or what about Crazy Wind Dude? I'm sure, like, he's probably gonna be the main in this next one.
No, it's Mitsuri and Mist Guy.
Oh, you're right. It was Mist Guy. Maybe they look a little alike.
Like, let me see this.
It is Mist Guy. He was right.
Yeah, put the bandages on him and throw a snake around his shoulders. That's Snake Guy.
No, their hair's different.
A little bit.
They look different.
They look like reskins of the same character. That's like when you choose the same fighter and they have to like change the color palette.
Maybe a little.
I mean, I don't think that was going to be an impossibility because I think we mentioned this before. Demon Slayers got a lot of same face going on. Face. So it's like what are you gonna do? Eventually, there's only so many hairstyles.
So we don't get Snake Guy next season.
He'll probably show up at the end and be like, "Oh, you only killed the number 4 demon after last time."
I was gonna say I did not like him, and he had 30 seconds of screen time, so good.
I don't have an opinion on him. I didn't see him enough to
I think it's his aesthetic.
Anything.
I mean, you have Tengen that was near death's door. Ugh, pathetic. It's like, fuck you. Where were you during this entire fucking arc?
I mean, for me, I'm just like, my brain is just going into like making connections in my head, and I'm like, oh, we have a ninja who specializes in sound, and then there's a white snake dude. And I'm like, Orochimaru.
Are you saying he's Orochimaru?
Like, exactly what I'm thinking is like, is this a reference that I should be thinking of? And next time it's the girl with the tits.
Maybe Miss Guy will
Tsunade.
be cool. I don't know. I don't think she's anything like Tsunade.
Probably not. Tsunade is her very much her own thing. We should talk about Tengen's wives and how they are exactly the trio from our main story.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Everyone's been making those comparisons for like a while now.
We don't have to go on. I was kind of waiting for someone to like make the connection like in the show, and Tengen being like, "Oh my god, they're exactly like my wives. Why did I do this?" Could have been funny. Oddly enough, the Zenitsu wife is also the most not oddly at all. It's because she's Zenitsu.
You're right.
She's cute, though.
She's also
she's
the one that could barely fight when she's awake.
Yeah, she's cute because she's just female Inosuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so this is what it's like. This is what it'd be
right.
like if a Zenitsu was in Inosuke's body. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just like, it's their appearances, but their personalities are switched.
Yeah.
And then Tanjiro is just Tanjiro.
Yeah.
Which, of course, means that Tengen is Nezuko. Like, we all get that, right? They got...
No.
That makes it awkward.
No, think
No.
about
That
it.
makes it weird.
Really? That's the heart and soul of the group? She's the glue that keeps everyone together?
But that's her brother.
They got painted nails.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Hey, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Tanjiro's not also fucking Zenitsu and Inosuke, so it's whatever. We can take the whole marriage element out of it.
Okay.
And
guess.
honestly, let's be real.
I guess
of all the
Tengen
people,
did call Nezuko flashy.
yeah,
I
she
suppose.
has the flashiest entrances. Usually because it's out of a box, out of nowhere. But still, that does not discount the fact that she is probably the flashiest of them. We're just saying something because in this one, Zenitsu entered the Speed Force somehow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how many
his
people,
whole
know the Flash.
I mean, his whole shtick is thunder and lightning, and thunder and lightning are quick.
Very, very frightening.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad, regardless, that Tengen and his wives got to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna
That's
go
nice.
retire, make a bunch of babies, and have a whole create
Good
a
for
whole
them.
new ninja clan.
I did crack up whenever he was trying to say his farewell words and they were all whining and he's like, I'm not even going to be able to say my eulogy. And then Nezuko comes up, burns him, and she thinks that she killed him.
Honestly,
Like, I'm gonna spank you.
yeah, I was just like, he's just like lit on fire. I'm like, oh,
This is
Hello.
fine.
everything's fine.
And it's so weird how like the whole show is so beautifully animated and the characters all look nice, but yet my favorite face of Nezuko is whenever she just has the two blank dots on her eyes. Like, I always love that face.
Chariot Nezuko. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Nezuko carrying a full grown adult.
Yes.
I really thought it'd be hilarious if, like, every time they found someone, they just, like, added them on top of Nezuko. Like,
Yeah.
Like, all
That
three of them
would've
are just, like,
been
stacked up like the Three
funny.
Stooges and being carried around by, like, this toddler.
Been good.
Yeah, she picks up Inosuke and Zenitsu, and she's like, hup, 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 hup,
Yep.
hup, hup.
I mean, she is the strongest of all of them, which is yet another comparison we can make to Tengen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what else?
I mean, with the backstory with Daki and her brother. We finally got a reason why Daki was so obsessed with beauty, because, well, people back then were dicks in the entertainment district, and
I'm
Daki
sure
was
they're
ugly.
still dicks
and
now.
Well, true, but the fact that like they damned that kid for the rest of his life just because they thought he was ugly.
I mean, he kind of was. I'm not saying that's justified, but like, yeah, he ugly. He's a very ugly boy.
And then the whole scene where, like, at the very end, where they technically go into hell. Although I read on Reddit that the world of Demon Slayer is based on Buddhism, so basically,
yes, it's reincarnation,
right? Their version of hell is spending how many years as punishment, and then you'll be reborn with your slate clean. So they'll be in hell for a long time.
I felt kind of like it was too reminiscent of the exact same thing with the spider people.
Unfortunately, I think that's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah, but it just doesn't have as much impact the second time around.
I mean, the spider people was also... He did the same thing with every other demon before that.
Know.
Other than Puddle Demon.
Yeah. It's like, I hope they mix it up a little after a while. Like, it was still, like, sad and whatnot, but...
I mean,
I don't know.
There were still some that we've come across that we haven't, like, gotten backstory and sadness for. Did we get that for Mugen Train Demon?
No,
I
because
don't think we
get
did.
Train guys.
They're like Puddle Demon. I think they don't give you backstory if you just, like... Yeah, you just really like being a demon. There was no, like, if, ands, or buts about it. You were probably going to be a terrible human being, too.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what Puddle Boy's backstory is, but his whole thing was, like, I need to eat young girls before they get too old and they taste weird.
Yeah,
there's no redemption.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, so I feel like it's not so much that, like, all of them, like, you know, had some sort of, like, terrible trauma that happened to them, that it's like, oh, this is why you are the way that you are, and, like, you know, Tanjiro is quick to forgive, because, like, you know, life is hard, and honestly, like, Tanjiro is just a good bean.
Yeah,
but...
notice Puddle Demon and Mugen Train did not get Tanjiro's forgiveness, because they were just assholes.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And neither did the guy from the forest either.
No, I think he did. He did.
Guy from the forest?
The big hands one?
Yeah.
He got one.
Oh, he
Tanjiro held one of his many hands as he died.
True.
Uh-huh.
He got
like,
his
that
blessing.
that was where it was like, you truly saw, like, Tanjiro's, like, nature was that moment where it's like, yes, this demon has eaten all of Urokodaki's, students over the years that have come to do the test, and Tanjiro's still willing to forgive him, even though he's, like, done all these terrible things and eaten all of these people specifically because they were the students of this one specific person who put him there on the mountain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
have something to add to that.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, what were they gonna do with Enmu, the train demon? He was just a masochist.
Yeah. I think
that's what I'm saying. That person would have been the same person, just with less influence had Muzan never met them.
Oh, exactly. I know what it is. Some of them are victims of circumstance, I think is the best way to put it.
Definitely Spider Guy was. These two were... Probably Hands Guy, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just like, I think, I can't remember.
The guy with the drum,
dude. Did he get a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he also he was a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
Mostly just, like, with his father.
Mm-hmm.
I think he senses the sadness in them.
Yeah.
Balls and Eye Hand Man did not.
No.
Because I think they were just loving themselves too much the way they were.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can tell you would have been an asshole anyway.
Except I feel like at least the Tamari Ball one, I feel like she definitely was a child, though.
Yeah, but like an asshole child.
Yeah, but even then, like, some children who are terrible do change their ways and end up becoming, like, not so bad adults, but...
Sure. But they were an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Also, you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. They probably didn't happen because Tanjiro wasn't the one who killed them.
That's
it was
true.
Muzan's curse that killed that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you died by your boss's own hand. Maybe Muzan had a moment with them that we didn't get to see because we don't see things from Muzan's perspective.
No, Muzan's just like, you failed. Get out.
You never know. You know, he might have a tender moment with them as they die.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nah, Muzan doesn't care, and Muzan don't give a shit.
Yeah. Alright. Tengen's fighting style, I really like. It's basically just, I'm gonna swing a sword and throw grenades at people. Like, that's the whole thing, right? I'm really trying to think. And I was like, how do you make a sound style? And then, like, he did. He's like, I got flashbang grenades and nunchuck swords.
So, I feel like that's all, like, how we have, like, wind as one of the elements for, like, sword styles. I feel like sound has to come from there.
Yeah, but again, it seemed like his whole thing was like, I'm gonna very flashily throw my swords around, and I'm gonna throw grenades at you the whole time. I'm not complaining. I'm very into this. I think that's
I mean, he always said that he wants to be the Shogun.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that part at the end where he was basically hearing the other guys' attacks. Like,
Yeah, that
music.
was cool.
I think that's more his style, you know.
I feel like maybe that should have been incorporated a little bit more throughout the rest of the fight, though.
But it was cool.
I've seen elements like that, and especially going back to ninjas, like there was the sound village in Naruto, and they did use, like, I feel like they utilize sound a lot more.
Yeah.
In unique ways. That actually, one of them actually did do that for the tuning exam, because he was like, I'm listening to the guy behind me writing, and based on the movement of his pencil, I will figure out what the answers are. Right. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. But all right. Good luck with that, because there's about 100 other people doing the exact same thing around you.
He can pick out the specific sound.
He's a supercomputer. Yeah, he did not make it far. Anyway. Yeah, so grenade style no jutsu was pretty fun. What else? I feel like we're missing something. Are we missing something? Oh, leader dude. We saw what his face looked like before his face got real bad. But at the same time, we also know he's related to Muzan? He's very connected to Muzan. I'm assuming that the leadership position is like passed down throughout the family, and it's kind of like the curse of his family, but I'm almost wondering if maybe Muzan's like his great uncle or something.
Did he say they were related?
He said he was like the curse of my family or something, which might just be we're the head of the demon slayers.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if it implies they're like brothers.
Okay, they can't be brothers. He's like 1,000 years old.
So,
but he could be his like ancestor.
How do you know they're not both 1,000 years old?
So I'm wondering.
He's dying.
So is it just me, or does like the purple mark on his face? Doesn't it look like that poison that was in Tengen's body? Like, isn't like the modeling of the skin like similar looking? Or
no.
Maybe I'm just crazy.
No, I don't think there was like modeling of the skin so much with the poison. It was just a discoloration. And I think the rest of it was just like battle damage kind of thing.
Wait, are you saying that he's related to Muzan?
That's what I'm questioning.
I don't think so. I think he was saying that Muzan did a number on his family.
Yeah.
Well, I have no doubt that he has, but I'm like, Muzan had to have been a human at one point.
He was.
I mean, who's to say that his Michael Jackson form isn't his base form, what he looked like as a human? What if that's just another one of his disguises he's done over the years?
I'm just speculating. The man said this is the curse of my family. And again, yeah, that could very easily just be, we've all been fucked by Muzan at some point. But it could also be, like, he's the one who knew his name. No one else knew his name up to that point.
So, a thing... Gosh, I had something. I need to think about what it was. I want to say it was, like, sort of, like, towards the beginning of the season that we did see, like, the child Muzan.
Yeah.
And I want to say that they, like, referred to him being, like, sickly? Oh, no. Like, in the last season, like,
well, he's
something
pale.
about... Yeah,
like
he's
they
pale,
say he looks
he's
very
considered
pale and sickly.
That, I believe that has something to do with it. Like, I want to say, like, he was not this strong, this powerful, like, he didn't look like this as human when he was a human. I'm sure
that's an element to it. And you know who else is pretty sickly? The guy who runs the Demon Slayer people. Maybe that's because that weird growth is just taking over all of his body. But, you know, what is that growth? Is it a curse? Who knows? He's come out in the sun, so he can't be like he's a demon. But I don't see it completely outside the realms of possibility that he could be related to Muzan somehow.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not gonna bet $1,000 on it.
I don't know. We did answer who the twins were, though. They're his kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's... No one was wondering about that. Never mind.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure, like, we did get to see his wife, like, in the Mugen Train movie. So, and she looks just like their children.
I can't remember. I think she might have been the other lady who was there.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I didn't even put two and two together.
Sure.
The woman that he was talking to, that's his wife.
Oh.
And the little kids who all look like her, those are their children.
Those creepy kids?
Yeah, the creepy kids.
Yeah.
Okay, why are they that way?
I was about to say the Shining twins, but they weren't twins.
I'm not entirely sure, but I know at least one of them is a boy.
They don't act human.
I'm honestly not sure if it's just this thing that they do.
I think it's just
they're just messing with people.
It's just a creepy twin
similar.
thing. It's the help us, Mothra, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Just, he seems pretty nice, kind of normal.
Oh, super chill, yeah.
Yeah, but then they're like spooky.
They're like, come play with us, Tanjiro, forever and ever.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a thing. Twins are creepy.
Just twins in general.
Look, twin girls between the age of 5 and 12 are straight up creepy. Doesn't matter what you do, they're creepy.
But Chibi just said that one of them is not even a girl.
Okay, they're both kind of dressed to look exactly the same.
True.
So, sorry, twins between the age of 5 and 12 are fucking creepy.
I think they actually have more than just 2 kids. Because they had, like, multiple, I want to say, like, white-haired children that all look the
this
same,
totally makes sense.
Around.
There's quadruplets, and that's how we see the twins. It's like in Full House, where Mary-Kate and Ashley played one girl. So in this show, we need 4 girls to play the 2 twins.
Oh my god.
Just like how there are 8 Zack and Codys. We know the truth. We know the truth.
That's how all twins work. They just swap out in real life, too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I would. I absolutely would.
At least twins that are identical.
Yeah.
Or at least look identical.
You get 2 not-identical twins who try to pull that. That would actually be hilarious. Oh, I wanted to say, cool on Tanjiro combining water and sun style.
Yeah.
That was cool and kind of explains a little bit more of like that question that I kind of brought up. Like, why doesn't everyone just use sun style? Why would you make derivatives of it if it's the best version? And it's like, oh, you got to work with what's best for you. But then you combine things. How did you make so many styles out of it? It's like, oh, well, we're going to do this derivative and then this derivative, but then we're going to combine them. And it's like everything branches from the same point, but it like goes in a bunch of different ways. And it's like, that's cool. Who knows? Maybe by combining sun style with water style, Tanjiro can make a whole new style and become the new Hashira of steam or something.
Rainbows.
The rainbow Hashira. I feel like that
everything else
is taken, but I don't know.
And whenever everything else fails, he always falls back to the Tanjiro secret technique. Headbutting your opponent.
Yeah.
The Iron Skull technique.
Which apparently, and oh my gosh, that fucking flashback with his mom where she learned that she headbutted a boar and it was fucking Inosuke.
Yeah.
Yep.
That poor child. No wonder he's so messed up. He suffered head injuries as a kid.
Yeah. Not surprised.
Poor son.
And then her kid headbutted him.
All right.
Yeah.
I felt this pain
well,
before.
I think they were making a joke of like Inosuke was filling in for the actual boar. I don't think they were implying that.
No, that is what they were saying. But...
Unless that boar is the boar head that Inosuke wears. Everything connects.
That's his mom.
Yes. Well,
Inosuke,
he wears the head of the Mountain
mom.
King.
Yep.
Who taught Inosuke how to speak?
Wasn't it
Good
the
question.
like couple that like found him after like the boars? Because didn't he go from?
I don't remember that at all. Was that a manga thing?
I don't know. Maybe I'm making things up. There are too many stories about children being raised in the woods by wild animals and then being brought to civilization and being raised by humans.
If only Inosuke had a brother, then he could have been raised by the boars and then go on to found a great city that would become an empire and take over most of the known world and then fall inexplicably because it just got stretched too thin and then get taken over by a whole bunch of other places. I'm thinking of Remus and Romulus. This is like I'm going into some deeper mythology stuff. Have I lost everyone yet? That's always what I want to ask. Have I lost everyone?
Nope.
I never heard of that legend, so
it's how Rome was founded.
Yeah, it's a Rome.
The wolf children.
Romulus and Remus.
I thought Rome was founded by the Trojans after the fall of Troy.
Yeah, it was, but the legend
This is
goes
a legend,
technically
to
yes,
Yeah.
but Romulus
if you
and
want
Remus
to talk historically versus the mythology.
Yeah. Romulus and Remus are descendants of Aeneas, who is from the Trojans.
Yes,
There we go.
And they were raised by a wolf.
Yes.
And then they grew up as wolf children,
Yes.
which was another movie. But then one of them decided to be a wolf, but the other one wanted to go to school.
No.
I'm mixing things up again.
We're getting
I
off
do
track.
I do this. Okay. And it was from that guy who brought us Summer Wars. So Summer Wars is totally connected to the founding of Rome.
Sure.
It is, if you think about it. Which also means,
my head.
and this is the most important part, Digimon the movie is connected to the founding of Rome and all of Western civilization.
Can I leave the call now?
Yes, you can leave the call now. Okay, so I think we've covered pretty much everything that we could for this Demon Slayer season.
Yep.
Overall, I think maybe I like season 1 a little better. Maybe it was just because there was a little bit more there, but at the same time, there was also more story. Though the fight in this was amazing.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Final thoughts from anyone else?
I'd give it a yay.
It's definitely still
Oh
a
yeah,
yay.
it's a definite yay.
Yeah, it's a yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason why Demon Slayer's like the most popular anime in the world right now. So
Yeah, I can see it. So, next week's gonna start some interesting and fun things. If you didn't join us last week, first off, shame on you. Go back and watch that episode, but do that after I tell you what we're doing. So, we've talked about for the next couple weeks, we're going to be watching all the live action American adaptations of anime and manga. The movies. Except for the ones that we didn't watch, that we already did watch already. And the one that's a sequel and we're not going to worry about. Anyway, going to be watching all of those, and we're going to miss 1 week of that because of Jujutsu Kaisen movie, because we do want to go see that and talk about that. And then after that, we're going to talk about all of the live action anime movies and adaptations from America and see which ones were the best and do all that sort of stuff. So next week is The Guyver. It's from 1991, based on Bio Booster Armor Guyver, I think is the full name. And it's gonna be interesting. It's if the synopsis is anything to go by, it's basically Venom minus Venom's personality. After that, it's Fist of the North Star, and then I think Speed Racer. Hang on, I gotta pull this up. So
no, Speed Racer is like 2008. So
yeah, but there was a very big gap. Okay, Guyver, Jujutsu Kaisen, Fist of the North Star, then Speed Racer, Dragon Ball Evolution, Old Boy from 2013, Edge of Tomorrow, Ghost in the Shell 2017, and then Alita Battle Angel, and the week after that we're going to talk about all of them as a whole. So, yeah, come back for that. Watch The Guyver for next week. I don't think there's any site you can legally watch it, so best of luck. But if there's any incentive for it, Mark Hamill is in the movie, which is always a fun experience. So check that out, and we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoy this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!